Well, if you've ever read The Spider and the Fly, Some Bugs, or The Spiderwick Chronicles with your children, then you're familiar with the work of Tony and Angela Ditterlizzi. They have a new book that will get inside the mind of a very cranky book. It's pretty out there, but check it out. All right, you guys, tell me all about this book. This is so interesting. Who is the cranky book based on?
I have no idea. It's not really based on any one person. I think it's just based on an emotion that's a universal emotion that we all share at some point. At some point, we're all cranky, whether we're little toddlers or we're old dudes. And so I think when Angela came up with this idea, we were thinking about, as parents, how would we deal with our daughter when she was cranky? How do we deal with each other when we're cranky? And what's the sentiment that you want to leave the reader with when they put the book down? And I think the idea was that after you've gone through this emotion, there's still people there that care for you. There's still people there that love you. I love you regardless of this emotion that you're going through right now.
So who did what in the process? Which one of you did what?
I feel like our lines are so blurred in what we do. I mean,
Yeah.
Traditionally, I'm an author. Tony is an author and an illustrator, but we really do consider ourselves true collaborators in every sense, especially in this story.
Yeah.
It started off with a manuscript that I started writing, which then I would share with Tony over coffee every morning at the table. And then he started drawing and doodling and then giving feedback. And then I would give him feedback on the art. And with this is kind of how the entire process goes throughout.
Yeah.
Is really just us volleying back and forth on ideas.
And that hasn't changed in 30 years. I mean, I got my start illustrating for Dungeons and Dragons eons ago, and then I've been writing and illustrating books for 20 years, but Angela's always been there. She's always been a part of the process for me. I've always shared everything with her and wanted her feedback. Especially the more successful you get, the more you crave people who are going to give it to you straight and be honest with you, because it's a high bar that you're trying to reach time and time again.
So you guys, I've heard that writing a children's book is one of the hardest things that you can possibly do. Tell me about that. Tell me about the process and why it's so difficult.
Wow, that's a fantastic question. You write great children's books.
Oh, thank you. Well, a lot of my books are usually written in rhyme, and I think a lot of people think I can rhyme all the time.
Yeah.
So I think it seems effortless. It also seems effortless to be able to just come up with an idea about a bunny or a squirrel or a story that you're like, oh, my kids love this one.
Yeah.
But to create something that resonates not only with a child but with the reader as well, with every story I hope to create something that creates connection.
Yeah.
And so for me, the theme is usually the most important thing to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know how to create a hugely successful children's book.
Yeah,
I just write from the heart. I just dig into my feelings. I'm a deeply empathic person, and I really try to dig deep about why I'm connecting with any story that I'm creating.
Yeah, I think if we knew that formula, they'd all be out of the ballpark. But the truth of the matter is, not every book does great, and that's okay, because the journey for the author and the illustrator creating that book is a story unto itself. And each book gives you different things. You learn something, you grow as a storyteller. But I agree with Angela. I like a theme. Themes are more universal to me than a message. And if I want to give someone a message, I'll just buy them a greeting card.
So what about for you guys? What was your favorite book growing up as a child? I know mine was always The Giving Tree. So what about you guys?
Oh, nice.
So my favorite book as a child is a book called I Can Fly, and it was written by Ruth Krauss, and it was illustrated by Mary Blair, who was actually one of the first women that was working in animation at the Walt Disney Company back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
I love her sense of color. Her illustrations are incredible. So I love those characters, but a bird can fly and so can I. Something so simple but yet so prolific really always speaks to me.
Well, the three S's for me were Seuss, Sendak, and Silverstein. We had loads up in the house, and I would probably zero in on Maurice Sendak, who we had the pleasure of knowing a little bit later in his life. His most famous book, Where the Wild Things Are, probably shares some DNA with Cranky. I mean, Cranky is certainly inspired by a boy, in this case Max, who goes and has a timeout, and that's certainly what Cranky does in the book. So yeah, I was a big Sendak fan growing up.
Well, guys, we are so excited to have you on the show. This book is quite the cranky one, so we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, so fun. Well, the Very Cranky Book is available now wherever books are sold.